Speedway, the Delphi Indy 300. Paul Page, Bob Jenkins, Scott Goodyear up top. Down in the pits, Jack Arute and Gary Gerald. In the second, as yellow comes out, car against the wall, and guess what? De Ferran.
He's high up against the wall.
De Ferran catches the wall.
Team was waiting for a response, Paul.
Engine still driving that wheel.
Yep. That means he was not, in my estimations, turning off the ignition.
This is a pretty critical position until that engine winds down. De Ferran has it shut off. He hasn't shut it down.
You can see the wheel turning right there. His throttle is stuck. Throttle probably is stuck open. He needs to be able to actually turn the ignition off to cut the engine to shut the power off. We're waiting for some movement from Gil. There you saw one of the crew members turn the ignition switch off.
So caution is out for Gil De Ferran on the 52nd lap. Safety team is there. Accident alone, only car to come in contact with the wall, and I've not seen that happen in a very long time. And in fact, in most, if not all, forms of racing, there's not only an internal but an external engine shutdown, so that should that kind of situation happen, the safety team can come up and shut the engine down.
Paul, you're absolutely right. And what happened there was that the crew member came in from the safety crew and turned the ignition off. As we ride along here, maybe we'll get an understanding of what happened. See, they're all entering into turn one right now. Oh, got some dirty air right there behind Renna. Lost the front of the car, and up to the wall he went. He may have actually touched a small amount, but looked like possibly Renna maybe got off the gas, because he certainly moved up there very quickly underneath him.
So Gil De Ferran with a hard hit against the wall. As you can see, the engine still driving the left rear there as the car runs along the wall, and it finally rolls to a stop, but the power continues to the left rear.
Now the question with that, Paul, is obviously the crew members that we see attending to the car right now shut the ignition switch off from the outside, but you wonder why Gil did not get a chance to turn it off from the inside.
Yeah, it looked like he'd taken the steering wheel off, which is generally the sign that you're conscious, you're okay. Well, we'll just wait for the official word of the Delphi Indy 300 on what happened with Gil De Ferran. No to his championship.
See the scene of the crash. The impact was in turn number 2. The engine remained running, and the car went all the way to the middle of the backstretch before it stopped. There is the ambulance, which is on its way to the infield care center. And right now, the championship battle really becomes secondary to all race fans, because the condition of Gil De Ferran is the most important thing right now. And of course, as we get information, we will pass along it to you immediately. But right now, no indication as to the condition of Gil De Ferran. The race is under caution for the second time. 52 laps have been completed. Back with more of the Delphi Indy 300. Welcome back live to Chicagoland Speedway. There is Gil De Ferran's car. The right side of that car is pretty much gone. Now here is a situation regarding Gil. You can see he's being taken out of the ambulance, and he is in a neck collar. They're taking him into the infield care center. No word yet on his condition. Hopefully before long, when Dr. Henry Bach, the director of medical services for the Indy Racing League, is able to make an examination, he will have the word for us. Race remains under caution at this time. A lot of debris was scattered in this crash, for one thing, because the site of the impact and the place where the car came to rest, a lot of distance in there, and so we're riding with the leader of the race, Al Unser Jr. Here is a replay. The car just ahead of Ferran is Tony Renna, and the word from race control was that he lost oil pressure right there. De Ferran had to take evasive action, and that sent him directly into the wall. With fuel pressure was what was lost on Renna's car, and the De Ferran car made heavy contact with the wall on the right side, and as you can see now, that engine continues to run, and the left rear tire is going to shed here. while the engine continues running, and the safety crew, as a matter of fact, had to shut the car off when they arrived at the scene. This is live now as we watch Gil De Ferran, obviously outside the medical center. We did see a thumbs up from De Ferran, so that is very good news, but he is being loaded into a helicopter, so obviously will be airlifted to a local medical facility for further treatment. Again, as I said, Dr. Henry Bach is our man, and Gary Gerald is there, and whenever word is received, we will have it for you. There is De Ferran lifting the right arm and giving us the thumbs up, and that is very, very good sign. There's the helicopter on its pad, ready to take off with De Ferran inside. Gil De Ferran, of course, came to the Indy Racing League this year as the champion of the kart series and put himself in the contention for the championship immediately when the season began. He finished second at Miami, second at Phoenix. It took him a while, however, to win his first race here in the IRL. He did so at Pikes Peak International Raceway, and then, of course, was the most recent winner in the IRL at Gateway just 2 weeks ago. Ferran, however, came into this race as the points leader by 1 over his Marlboro Team Penske teammate Elio Castro Neves. Well, the race began shortly after.
Well, we listen to Carter, and they pass under the white flag.
By just about a foot that time.
Paul, there's not a spectator in these stands today that is sitting down right now.
2 by 2, the front 4. The field all tightly bunched together. Heading into turn 3.
Oh,
On the final lap. Now Buddy Lazier comes up to take a look to the inside. And Unser Jr. and Hornets go to the line side by side. Unofficially, it's Hornets who takes the win. Oh, boy, it was amazingly close. Hornets with his 7th career win, and at 24 thousandths of a second. Look at that, right there, at 24 thousandths. What is it, 3 inches?
that is amazing. He wins from the pole, Paul. What a great weekend for Panther Racing.